This is a review of the Icube Ultra. If you like it, you can get a discount using promo code HandmadeArtBG 40 off on sculpfun.com or sculpfun.eu. Link in the description. This week we're very excited because Sculpfun decided to send us their new laser and I can't wait to try it out.
Hi guys, I'm excited to introduce you the new Sculpfun Icube Ultra. So this is my colleague Lazar. It's funny because we work with laser and my colleague is Lazar. Let's open the box. The previous Icube Sculpfun. Of course we have glasses again, which are providing us some inspiration. We missed this before.
After the initial unboxing, it took us about 15 minutes to put the laser together. It was quite simple, as the only thing you have to do is set up a laser head and plug in a few cables. Here it is, the new Sculpfun Icube Ultra. It's an improvement on the older Icube Pro Max models as it features an option for two dedicated laser organs, one for wood and another for stone and metal. Let's check out the initial setup. First, we need to connect our PC to the laser using a USB-C cable. The ports are positioned right above the turn on button on the right side of the laser. Then we plug it in and turn it on. You also need to turn on the secondary switch, this knob on the side. Then just plug in the activation key.
Let's install the application.
The app is quite simple. You can get it for free from Google Play Store or Apple Store for iOS users. It has a couple of options, one of which is a coordinates controller and a creation studio, where you can draw designs or choose from a list of preloaded images. Then simply hit start and you're engraving. Now let's take a look at the specifications. The dual version contains two working organs, one for wood, the 12-watt blue diode laser, and one for metal and stone, a 1.2-watt infrared laser attachment. The working area is about 150 to 150 millimeters, though with trial and error we found that 140 height works best for most engravings and cuts. It comes with an improved protective shield that filters the harmful UV light rays. If you need to work on an object that doesn't fit within the parameters, it can be removed and the laser will still work. The unit itself is about 34 centimeters long, 25 wide, and 27 centimeters tall, making it perfect to place on your desk or store away in a cupboard if you need the space. It's compatible with Lightburn, but also functions with an open source firmware called Gerbil. One more thing they added that I really like was an emergency shutdown button on the side. If you have to stop immediately, you just hit it and the laser's off. Now time for some tests. Here I have a really cool design. We're gonna try to engrave him on one of these hip flasks right here, this thing. So in order to do that, we're going to have to switch up the work organ of the laser. Now currently the laser is operating with its wood attachment. It's actually the more powerful one. It's for cutting. We're going to have to switch it out with the other one, which is for engraving on metal. I'm going to show you how to do that now. We're going to have to tilt the laser to one side. Let me bring it a little bit closer. We're going to have to detach this little organ here and substitute it with this laser engraving attachment. This comes with the dual package. In the site you can purchase this laser with only the wood attachment, but in this case we've been sent the metal attachment as well. We've already tested it out, it works great. So now I'm just going to show you how to substitute it and then we're going to do a quick engraving. So first of all, on the laser we have this really tiny little port here for the power cable that I'm going to have to remove, this one. We're going to unscrew two screws that we have here that are fixing the laser in place. Oh, careful not to lose them. and then all you have to do is simply slide the laser out. Here's our attachment. This is our wood cutting attachment. So let's go ahead and attach the metal engraving attachment. Okay, we're just gonna slide it in. Again, we're going to just fasten these screws here. With the amount of maintenance that we have to do on the other laser, this is actually just a dream. So after we've done that, we're going to just attach the head to the power supply using this little cable. It snaps into place, and then we're good. So now we're ready to engrave. Now it's optional. This little plaque here, it does have dots for the screws. You can choose to put them in if you'd like. I personally choose to keep them out because it makes switching out the laser that much faster and easier. I already have the design loaded. Next up, we're going to attach the transmission cable from our laptop to the printer. We're going to plug it in right here. Then we are going to plug in the printer, or the laser, if you will, into the power supply. We have a little button here that says 0 and 1. We're just going to click it to 1. And the last thing you have to do is there is this little knob here that you have to twist. Once you've done that, you're all set. Now that the laser is ready for operation, all we have to do is figure out a good height for our object. As you can see right now, the object does not fit, so we're just going to have to do some manual adjustments first. So first of all, I'm going to turn off the laser from here, and we're just going to adjust the head a little bit so it goes a little higher. I'm just going to go right here. That seems good enough. Okay, and you probably understand by this point, but this whole organ actually moves up and down on its own, and it's going to adjust once I tell it to. But first of all, we're going to have to adjust the height manually so that then it can do the finer adjustments itself. So now the flask is under it comfortably. We're just going to place the flask in the middle of our work area, and let's turn on the laser again. Now we're going to ask it to center. So I'm going to do that by placing the laser on top of our flask using my hand. So we have a button on this side. It's basically the focus button. Once I press it, the machine is going to drop down by itself 2 times, it already did, to assess the height that it needs to adjust further. Now that we're ready, we're going to just see if we can do the design on the flask. Now, first of all, we click frame to see if our alignment is good. It looks good to me, so I'm going to try to start engraving. So I'm going to leave it at 8,000 speed and 100 power. Let's see what happens.
This task took about 12 minutes, but there are all sorts of ways to optimize your engraving speed and light burn. That's for a different video though. This is how the design came out, though I do think I need to do more experiments with the speed. Here are some shots of the finished product. I decided to engrave something on the back of the flask as well, so I did that. As you can see, the rose came out a bit pale, but that came down to settings and the optimization. Next up, I had these ice tongs and I wanted to try a pattern engraving. I'm going to place the protective cover on so you can see how it works. I should mention, I think it's really cool that they added this little door here as an improvement over the older model, so you can just reach in and take out your object whenever you're ready. It also significantly reduces the smoke. Let's place our tongs inside. The object has to be horizontal, so I had to improvise here and use a bit of wire to hold it in place. And going in for some close-up shots, because I'm always looking for an excuse to use my macro lens. And here are the results. Just adding a bit of flair to an everyday object. For our last project, we decided to remake one of our regular designs so it would fit in the Icube Ultra. Since the starting material is bigger than the work area, I'm removing the cover so I can place it in comfortably. I sped up the process a bit because we don't have all day, For this project, I needed to cut 5mm thick plywood, which the laser cut in one go, on about 150 speed and 100 power. Those settings worked out for me, but you'll need to do some testing on your own as no plywood is the same. Now we're going to do our main streets as a cut layer, and our finer streets as an engraving layer. The laser was surprisingly precise. Got the job done in about 35 minutes. And here's the final product. Running some more tests, and here's checking if 8mm plywood can be cut in one go. The laser managed at 150 speed and 100 power, though there was some charring on the back because of the intensity. Here's the mask again, but with minor improvements on the settings. It looks pretty good in the light and in the dark. Last but not least, we tried engraving on leather. It was pretty solid, and it was also one of the fastest jobs on the list. Here's how it looks. So big thanks to Sculpfun for sending us this product. We really had a blast testing it out, and we're looking forward to using it for all of our projects in the future. It has excellent build quality, and it definitely has a lot of improvements over the older version, the Pro Max 10 watt, and it's very easy to use. It's super user friendly. We started using it with light burn, which we don't commonly use, but just after 3 days we were able to get amazing results. It's still a little small for our usual projects, like this, but we did manage to rescale one of our designs, and it really came out great.
I personally think there are a lot of improvements which Sculpfun made of this machine, and I like a lot that the lasers are portable. I'm very excited that I can take the machine to my village and work near to the nature at home and make the custom products.
Definitely go check out the product. I've put a link in the description to their website, and it should still be on sale at the time of posting this video because it just came out. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a comment. And if you would like to see more tutorials involving this laser and maybe how to work with it in light burn, you can leave us a comment on that kind of content in the future. We're definitely looking to put out some stuff in those areas. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, and bye.